Hey guys, Cameron here with Next Launch, and in this video I want to talk about how to re-engage a cold list. So if you're just starting your marketing up again and you haven't engaged your email list in quite a while and the list has gone cold, then what you want to do is re-engage this cold list and try to warm it back up so you can start marketing to these people and actually building up your business. So there's two scenarios really when you're thinking about re-engaging a cold list. The first is that you've got some segmentation already in the list. So you've segmented the list into different groups, and you can actually target each group and kind of re-engage those cold lists. The other situation is that you haven't actually segmented the list. So the list has no segmentation. There's a lot of different people in there. It's difficult to know kind of what messaging you should be sending. So those are the two scenarios I'm going to talk about in this video. Let's start with the situation when you actually have segments to your list, but they've gone cold. And so what you want to do in this scenario is you want to start to think about, what happened here? Why did the list go cold? How come you haven't actually sent them any messages? Have you been busy? Has your business been focused on different channels? Sending emails is going to be a fantastic way for you to build up your business, and it's really important to keep sending messages to those people on your list so that you can engage them and keep them opening your emails, clicking on your emails, and actually start to warm them up so that they trust you and you can get them to buy from you. So if you've built out some segments but you're not sure which one that you should really be focused on, or maybe you just haven't had the time to reach all these different segments, you want to start to think, do I actually add value in these segments? So maybe you've got a segment for people in a specific niche. Maybe it's the SEO niche, or if it's a niche that's related to a specific type of interest that people are into. Or maybe you have some location-based segments of people that you met at a conference, or people that you met in a city. So you have to think about, am I going to actually add value to these people in this segment? So if it's a conference that you went to, are those people in that conference people that you're going to be marketing to with your email, and is that something your business is focused on? Because if it's something that you may want to transition into a different segment and maybe build up a different list with new segmentation, then you want to go ahead and take those people and actually put them out of your autoresponder into a CSV, for example. So take all the people that you don't want to market to, but you still want to keep as your contacts, and put those into a CRM where it's going to be more of a sales type of CRM or a contact database. That's going to be something like Google Contacts or Close.io, like a CRM, for example. But your email autoresponder should be people that you're going to be doing marketing to. So that means sending out campaigns, autoresponders, things that are going to keep re-engaging the list on an ongoing basis. And that's what you have to think about with your email list. So for all those people that you're not going to be targeting, you want to take those out, because in order for you to get good open rates and end up in the inbox, you really want to reach people who are engaged. The engaged people are going to be people who click in your email, people who are opening your email. And so to get those open rates up, you want to make sure everybody that you're targeting is actually engaged with you, and they're not just going to be a one-time message that you might send through a CRM or, let's say, through a contact database. Okay, so first take those people who you aren't focused on and separate them. If you do have a few segments that you do want to focus on, then what you're going to do is personalize your message to re-engage the cold lists. So if it's been a long time since you've actually messaged these people, you want to pick the lists that you really want to reach back out to and focus on a message in each segment that's going to be relevant to that segment. So that's going to be, let's say, in the conference niche, if you wanted to reach people there, or if you wanted to reach people in SEO, for example, send them a message relating to your service that is actually relevant to them about SEO. And what you can do is you can tailor this message to be sort of a we're back message, or I dropped the ball, but I'm back in action kind of message. So the subject line could just be we're back, ... Could be I dropped the ball, dot, dot, dot. And the subject line is really just about letting them know, hey, I haven't sent you an email in a long time, and I'm going to send you one now. And I just want to apologize that I haven't actually been sending you any. But I'm back in action. I'm going to give you content now, and now I'm going to show you what I'm all about. So that could be the subject line. The next thing you want to do is remind people of all the value that you actually have that you can be sharing with them. So give them a quick update if you haven't engaged them in a long time, to just recap. Where have you been? What have you been up to in your company, in your business? What are all the high value points that you could give to that segment so that they can actually get re-engaged? And that's going to get them excited about seeing some more of your emails, and the probability of them actually staying on your list will go up instead of unsubscribing, for example. So remind them of the value that you have with some recent updates. You can also check and see if they're clicking on your emails with the click-through rate. And then at the end, ask them to hit reply, and at the very least respond with what's their biggest challenge. So you can just say, hey, if you saw this email, I know it's been a while, just hit reply and let me know what's your number one biggest challenge in whatever the segment is. And then you can personalize it with tags, for example, in MailerLite if you wanted to do that, or you can do it in whatever autoresponder that you're using. So that's how you can re-engage a cold list if you've segmented the list already. Highly relevant messages that remind people that you're back in action with a quick update and something to respond to figure out their call to action on essentially what they are really struggling with. Now, the last tip on that is you can send them a survey to actually figure out what they're really interested in. And that's just going the extra step with the hit reply if you wanted to actually link to, let's say, a survey to say, hey, what's your biggest challenge? Just fill out this quick survey here, and you can link the survey. And then they can fill that out and you can get some more information. Okay, so that's the first side. The other side is if you don't have any segmentation and you've just got this big list of people that you've had for a while, maybe you've gotten from different networking events, and they're just cold. They're cold contacts, you haven't contacted them, but you want to start marketing and you want to start re-engaging this list. Well, here's the good news is you have a chance. They probably remember who you are. It's just been a while, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to create a very broad message to reach all of these people, and then you're going to start to try to figure out what segments are there. So start with a very broad message that could more likely appeal to everyone, and just see if you can get them to self-segment, which means engage with a piece of content that kind of signals what they're into or what they engage with. And you can think about segmentation in a couple of different ways. The first way is going to be, what does your business do? What is the value you're trying to bring to this business? And then create a couple of pieces of content that create some segments as links, or you can do it in a form. So with links, you can use trigger links, for example, which is figuring out what links people clicked on. In MailerLite, for example, you can set up links to URLs, to an article, to a landing page, to a video, any kind of content that you already have. You can create a link to and actually see where they clicked. And then when they click that link in MailerLite, you can do an automation to add them to a group. And when they add them to that group, that's going to segment them. So that's the first way. The second way is for you to link to a survey where they have segmentation options. They can choose maybe what they're interested in. Are they interested in email marketing, in SEO, whatever services they're interested in, and then they can select that to start to self-segment. Then you can take that information and apply that to those email subscribers in your autoresponder. So that's the first step, is to get them to self-segment through this very broad message. So you might say the same kind of thing, saying, we're back. Hey, I dropped the ball. Apologize, it's been a while, but I just wanted to let you know that I didn't forget about you, and I'm here to share a quick update on what I've been up to for the past 2 years, however long you haven't emailed them. And then after you email them, you can start to segment these people into the groups that you really want to focus on. So you can keep track of who's in this list once they actually start engaging. Now, after you've sent the email, what you're going to want to do is take a look at the non-engagers. So the people who either unsubscribed, they didn't open the email, and you're going to want to start to segment out those people to potentially remove them from your list. And the whole goal here, guys, is to have a highly engaged list that can get you in the inbox, can get you really good deliverability, and allow you to really grow your business by targeting the right people. So that's what you're going to do when it comes to this list that you haven't emailed in a long time. So to segment out those people, you want to look at who opened the email, who engaged, and maybe if you just want to do it right there, you can take out all the people who didn't open the email about a week later. If you want to wait a little longer, you could wait 2 to 3 weeks and introduce an autoresponder series where you send them a couple of other update emails. This is also a great way to really make sure that, if you don't have the biggest list, let's say you just started your agency or your company, and you want to really figure out, can I actually market to these people? Then go ahead with the series, do a couple of emails with updates in them, and try to really get the engagement back. If you can't, if you have a huge list and you don't want to waste time, then just do one update email that you haven't emailed them in a while, and just get the people who are most engaged. If it's over a couple of thousand people, you're going to be fine with that when you're getting started. So just get the engagers, the people who opened and clicked, and segment those people. The rest of them, just remove them from your list. You can do the same thing where you export a CSV and get them there. Okay, so that's a couple of tips on what you can do. A couple other just bonuses there is to thank them for being on your list, and just mention that you're curious about what they're into. So I'm curious of how you're doing and what you're working on, and then hit reply here or click here to fill out the survey. So that's some context that you can put in to actually get people to engage with the list. Okay, so those are some updates for how to re-engage a cold list so you can start your email marketing again. Once this list is engaged, guys, you really should be promoting your content on a bi-weekly or weekly basis. If you're really aggressive, you can do it daily or 3 times a week. But the whole goal here is to keep your list engaged, meaning you got to keep your traffic levels up, and people open your email maybe 1 or 2 days. There's kind of like even like a weekly influx of traffic that you could get from 1 email per week. But if you wait longer than a week, chances are people aren't going to see that in their inbox anymore, and they're not going to be engaging with your content. So to stay in the inbox, you really want to be emailing once a week. If you're really aggressive, you want to do that every day, and make sure that you're emailing people so they can come back to your content. So that's how you can re-engage the cold list. In more videos in this playlist, I'm going to be talking about email marketing tactics. Definitely check the links below. Get access to MailerLite, which is my recommendation for the best autoresponder out on the market now. Definitely better than MailChimp, better than Aweber and the other tools out there. So get access to that below. Start your email list and start re-engaging any of the contacts that you had. You always want to make sure that you're getting the opt-in, for the list. But in this sequence, in this playlist, I'm going to be sharing a lot more tips. So subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.